right. So, good afternoon, everyone. We are back in Middle-earth. And where in Middle-earth? We have finally made it to Bree-Land, which is where we left off last time. Welcome, everyone, to the channel. This is Ered here. And we are currently playing on Rinthalos, which is the Loremaster here. I must admit, he looks atrocious. He looks like one of those like typical, I mean, you can tell that this is an older MMO, particularly because at the beginning of, well, I was going to say at the beginning of MMOs, like old MMOs, this is pretty much always what you look like, which is true. But it's, well, yeah, I guess it's particularly bad in this game. But I think it's just funny. Anyway, essentially how he looks. But I definitely need to, I actually have some cosmetics, which I could technically use, but I kind of want to keep things as they are. The downside, I will definitely use cosmetics. I'm saying that now. I'm telling you that now. But one thing I like about not using cosmetics is that effectively you can see essentially as your character progresses. One thing I actually just noticed, I have no cape. Oh, I do. It's just not showing. Why is it not showing, actually? Oh, I must have, oh, I turned it off. I wonder why I turned that off. Oh, maybe because it really doesn't match my outfit. I guess it looks better without, despite how silly I kind of look like carnival help or something. Yeah, but so welcome back, everyone. We are going to continue our journey here through Middle-earth. We finished Ered Luin last time, right? So here we're here. We deeded out all of this, though with Ered Luin you don't really have to go anywhere down there. You can, certainly, but you can level quickly enough that you don't have to. So we have now made it to Bree-Land, right, which is here. And so that's the goal for today, is to essentially see how far can we actually get in today's stream. So today's stream is going to be actually a little bit longer than previous ones have been. We'll take a little break in between to stretch our legs, maybe get a cup of coffee in the meantime. But today I want to see, I actually deeded out this entire area on my warden just recently. So I do have a good idea of what the quest flow is like. We're going to do this, and it will essentially take us to places over here and a little bit over here. Then we'll go over to this quest giver. We'll get more quests here, some here, and then also down here in the old forest. True, now that I say that, I didn't actually on my warden do anything over here. But I believe here, so it will partially take you to areas there. It will take you back also to the old forest. But what I don't really plan on doing is, oh, and one thing I need to check actually for later is where we should go actually once we finish Bree-Lands. For those of you who don't know, just go to the Lotro wiki and just Google essentially zones by level, and it will essentially tell you everywhere you can and should go based on your level. Okay, and that's what I thought. So next we will go to North Downs once we finish this, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. All right, I'm just then checking, making sure that everything is still good on my end. It seems like it. All right, good. Then I would say let's get started. I want to move, actually, I want to move the chat here. If I get rid of that, yeah, there's the chat. Good. Okay, so we're here. We picked up this quest, No Time for Tours, within Bree. I think I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit on my end because it's a little bit loud. Maybe do it a little bit like that. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we essentially got this quest in Bree in the Prancing Pony, and he said essentially go talk to all these people. So, off we
Greetings.
go. Hello.
Would you do something for me?
Oh, I actually might turn off the voiceover. The only reason being, so essentially whenever you talk to a quest giver, they'll have a little snippet. So when I talk to him,
Is a moment of your time too much to ask?
yes, a moment of my time is far too much to ask. I usually keep those off because every time you talk to a quest giver, then you hear something. You hear them say something. I need to make this a little bit bigger because I am blind. So I'm gonna increase this just by a bit. Good. I don't want it to take up too much real estate on my screen. Really, I forgot that actually sent you back into town. All right, so we're gonna kill some of these. Oh, before we do that, actually, I've got 2 points to allocate because I leveled up. I was just fiddling around on the stream, I should say, beforehand, making sure the sound and everything works. And in doing so, I leveled up on accident. So we've got some points to allocate. Welcome to the stream. We are currently figuring out on the Loremaster, we just reached level 15, figuring out, what is it that we actually then want to... We're currently in the red line. I kind of miss a little bit the blue because this is then the pet talent, or the pet tree essentially. But that's fine. I think we actually, just because I see 1 point here, oh yeah, plus 30% cracked earth damage. We figured out last time that is definitely the route to go for the AoE. That's essentially this one here. Oops. And we saw how much that absolutely obliterated the mobs. So like I said, we're not going to actually... I want to move this... Now, why is that not there? I essentially want to move this. Gambit progress alerts. Here it is. You can go over there. We're not going to do any deeds. I just want a quest. Not that I dislike... Well, I was just going to say not that I dislike deeds. I kind of do. Just because they're... If we get them done as we play normally, which we're going to do with questing anyway, we'll certainly get all the questing deeds done. Because the goal is essentially to quest until we get the quest deed done. You get a good 2,000 or 4,000 virtue XP. That's nice. And that's then essentially the signal, okay, you can now move on to the next area.
How can I be of service?
Okay, I'm going to turn off
Stay a moment.
I'm going to turn off the voiceover. That's really annoying. Voiceover volume. Right, so here we've got this, complete quests within Bree-Land, right? It says just 15, but this is also a tiered one. I think there are 3 tiers, so altogether we have to do 45. If there are actually 3 tiers, then altogether we have to do 45 quests, which is certainly possible because we're also going to see if we can make it to the Barrow Downs. That's interesting that these are actually already marked, though I've never been there. These points of interest. But the Barrow Downs is huge, or at least there are tons of quests here. We'll see if we do the escort quest. I'm not a big fan of escort quests, but we have to do quests here. There are quest givers here, and then also here. Yes, Mr. Bear, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stand here. You can see, threatens to attack. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go to the slaver, or to the spy, not the slaver. So, what is it, Mr. Brigand Informer, that you would like? That's right, I need to protect you from these attackers, which as a, I don't know, as a Loremaster, I don't know how much of a good idea that is. Although, that seemed to be fine. So, like I said, in the previous stream, I'm probably not going to read the quest text. Not that it's not interesting, but if that's something that you all want me to do later on, essentially read through. We can also say I'm not doing any of the epics so far, so that's like the main quest. I haven't done any so far aside from the tutorial, and I don't really plan on it. What are you doing, Mr. Scarred Splinter Tusk? I didn't even see him. Must have accidentally aggroed him. So I'm not actually doing any of the epics either. That's something that we could do. I would actually prefer to do it as a separate stream. The reason being the epic, while good, the epic is essentially like this. We can break down the epic as follows. Oh, here, please go talk to this person because this person is pivotal in the development of the story. Okay, so you run up there, you talk to them. And then they say, oh, thank you. I forgot my lemonade at home. I meant to make some lemonade, and without my lemonade, I can't get to the Hengstacer's farm. So instead of going down to Bree and getting lemonade, can you go all the way to Dunland, go to Isengard, maybe talk to Saruman there, get some lemonade, and yeah, also get some ice cream. Take the ice cream over to Mordor, because, you know, maybe some orcs want some ice cream there. Then you can come back to Bree-Land. Oh, but you got me yellow lemonade. I wanted pink lemonade. And it's like, ah. And so what I'm trying to get at is the annoying thing about the epic quest in this game is it has you just going all over the place. And so that's a little bit annoying, but what we could do then is, since it's then centered around, you know, following the ring, we could go through and read the text and follow that more closely. Otherwise, if people think, no, let's just do normal leveling, I am more than happy to do that, where we just essentially go through and nearly two-shot mobs. So we just have to get this guy. There are other mobs here, but he's got then this letter that we want. Oh, that's right. I forgot about my lightning bolt of fame. There we go. That's super easy. I have been thinking about crafting as well. I don't know if I want to craft on this dude. I mean, I will eventually. But if I don't do it, I'm definitely doing it on my warden, on my main. But I'm also waiting for him to essentially get to level cap. Then he'll come back and be a murder hobo, as the website Massively OP likes to refer to it. No sponsor, but definitely one of my favorite websites. And then they have a really good podcast, Massively OP. And they call most modern MMOs murder hobo simulations, where you just go around and murder everything. And they're not wrong. It is a lot of just go here, murder everything, go here, murder everything. I think I'm going to go to Bree and get this for the talking to the Smiths of Bree, just to get that figured out, because I'm pretty sure they'll give me something, and then I have to go up here to the work site. So that's what we'll do there. But anyway, so if I were to do crafting, well, no, I don't know. My idea was that I would actually, because you can buy like a 4th profession now from the shop. Usually you're just limited to 3. But I'm thinking of buying a 4th. If you can honestly buy a 5th, I would also do that, where I would really just make my main, the main crafter as well. That's essentially what I do with Elder Scrolls Online as well, where my main not only has all of the... Strange, what is that? My main not only has all of the skill lines for crafting, but also has pretty much most, if not all of the, like the crafting. No, that's a lie. I was about to say it has almost all of the crafting styles unlocked. No, that is definitely not true. It has a lot, but since I stopped playing for quite a while, it has most of the crafting styles unlocked up through the first couple of expansions, but otherwise not too far. Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, that's right. When you turn level 15, you're auto-bestowed this quest, A Pressing Matter, and it gives you this item here. And I forgot about that. That's right. It's essentially to say, hey, look. Oh. Yeah. That looks fine. It looks better than what I'm wearing now. With my super teal. Well, these are so teal, I would have to assume that these are jeans. They're either that or they're what are those? They're it's that word for a combination between leggings and jeans. I can't remember. But these could be my legging jeans or something like that. Anyway. Oh, I can select a title. I am a legendary. 12 years, Rhythos of the 7 Stars. Dwarves and... I'm not an elf, am I? Yes, I am. So I was going to say, elves and dwarves, they don't necessarily go well together. 11 Z's, that's what it was, yeah. For 11 years. A friend of mine had asked, because in German they also use a special word for this, and a friend of mine had asked, do they do that in English as well, where they don't say like 11 or 111? And yes, this is then the term, at least for 11. They say 11 Z's. I like this. Renthalos ever on and on. I think, yeah, I can get a surname as well. I think I actually might do this. You don't have to do these class quests anymore. And then I could get the title, A Well-Ordered Mind. I would say that's appropriate. I've never done this, so I actually don't know what to do there. Because like I said, these are the class quests, which used to be obligatory. Because you would get... What is this doing up there? Yeah, they used to be obligatory because you would get class trait points and things like that, but you can skip them now because the points are given to you automatically. Who do I need to talk to in Staddle? He's over here then. Oh, he's down there. All right, we'll go do that. If anything, I'm just because I'm interested to see what it is I have to do since I've never done it. On my warden, I haven't done any. Sorry, I just broke. Oh, I broke the horse's leg. I'm sorry. He seems to be okay. He recovered quickly. On my warden, I haven't done any of the class quests, but you can still do them afterwards. Essentially, after the fact, you just decline them as they're bestowed. All right, we need to go up here. Yeah, I've got my VIP. Hello. I'm sorry. It looked like. Okay, I thought I like. I mean, obviously, if you collide with another player, it doesn't. There's actually no player collision. Excuse me. But I was wondering if it just caused that person to like freak out or something and move somewhere else. All right, we'll go to Straddle. I don't think it's Straddle. Yeah, Staddle. Straddle would be a bit too suggestive, I think, but Staddle. You can see I could actually do the quests here. I've got them. What level are they for? 14. Yeah, so I could actually... These also count as Bree-Land quests. Maybe I will. The other thing that I haven't been doing either is missions. I believe I've unlocked them. If not now, then at level 20. And missions are super boring. Or not necessarily boring, but like you end up doing them so much that they just become repetitive. All right, there's the quest. So I might do some of those, but I don't know. They're good for leveling, but... Ah, okay, it's a solo quest. Ooh. Collected his private instance, A Well-Ordered Mind. Find the bookshelf containing the book Dorset Oaks is seeking before the Goblin Champions arrive. What? Do I have to get this one? Where's the book? If so, it had slipped my mind. I'm sure my son will be able to manage. Is it this one? I don't know if you could hear that, but you can hear... Oh, there's some. Oh, again, I need to get used to using then just this AoE. This one here. Boom. Okay, I think they'll just keep coming. I just have to make sure that they don't overwhelm me. Oh. Or I just do that. That was easy enough. That would have been cool essentially if I would imagine the way that it was like before these classes got OP and everything. I imagine it was really the case where they just kept coming and coming and coming, and you had to find the correct one. Maybe I got lucky and really found it quickly, but it's probably more so the case that you just have to like either kill a number of mobs and or select select a number of the interact with a number of the books, and then you just automatically get it. But that's cool. Nice. So we got our robe. We're starting to look... God, this hat. I have to get rid of this hat. It's just so bad. There, that's so much better. It's like a hat that you find at a thrift store where you think, wow, this is so ugly, I have to buy it. But then the Loremaster is like, but I'm also going to wear it in all seriousness. That's all right. We don't need that. The next thing he needs to change, I feel like his shoulders are way too broad. Maybe it's just because if he's standing like that, that's okay. But when he normally stands, it's way too tapered, it seems. Okay, so what are we gonna do? I feel like, what level is this? This is level 14. Okay, then no, I'm just gonna follow these, because what I don't want to do is complete these. I'm not... What happened to the audio? I don't know if people can hear that. I don't know if it's the game or if it's my setting. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna turn that off and then turn this back up. No, there's definitely something going on with the... Okay, it seems to... Yeah. I can't tell it's resolved itself or it's still sounds funky. It could be just because we're in Bree and this is a super populated area. I know earlier this morning as well, the lag was really bad. Even though, this is a new 64-bit server, but I'm playing here on Myriadoc. I really cannot tell. Yeah, there's something going on with the sound. I wonder if people can hear that on your end? Hope not. But let me just check some of my settings. That's okay there. And if I then do this, yeah, I think it's the microphone. It seems. And if I turn this off, the music's gonna disappear in just a second. Okay. Well, that's a bit frustrating. And what about now? If I then essentially here, I can hear myself talking. Maybe it is then indeed the microphone. But as long as, I don't know, chat, can you hear, does the audio sound strange, or do you find, no, it sounds normal? Sounds like it should. Because if so, there, I'll put the audio back on. If so, then that's fine. It could just be my headphones. Because here I just hear essentially... I hear essentially just like a little bit of... Yeah, a little bit of noise. It's not reverb, but like someone is... It's like someone is tapping ever so slightly. But as long as it's, yeah, you can't hear it in the chat, or essentially in the stream, then that's fine. Oh, I completely... I turned that off. All right, you should be able to hear me now. Yeah, because I can hear myself now speak, but that's all right because you should be able to hear me. But thank you for pointing that out, Noonian. I'm going to see if that then works here. That's good. And I want to see then if I turn this off. Wonderful, thank you. I'm gonna listen to that. So you should still be able to hear me, and I can't hear myself now, I hope. I can't hear myself, so that's good. But it looks like, at least what my screen is telling me, is that you can still hear me. So that's important. So thank you for the heads up, Noonian. I appreciate it. That would otherwise be... I have done that before where I've streamed for... This was like one of the... Not that I'm an experienced streamer whatsoever, absolutely not. But one of my first streams, one of my earliest ones, I streamed the whole time and there was no mic, essentially. It didn't pick up the mic. So I was talking the whole time, but you could not hear me. But that's part of the learning curve. All right, so here I now... There are a couple of things... Perfect. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for letting me know, Noonian. I appreciate it. That helps me out a lot. Just also, yeah, a peace of mind, essentially. This was me last night. Not that I got drunk. I guess that would imply that I got really so wasted that I was face planted, essentially. But this is essentially how I felt at the end of the week. Again, not that I had a bad week or anything either. It's just like, okay, I'm happy it's Friday. So this is then. I think this is a good picture of me. But I'm sorry, Nate, that Nate is actually dead, unfortunately. All right. I almost feel like I should do some anniversary events just for the coins. Just so I can get a different mount for him. I don't mind this one, but I've used it. This is then from the Riders of Rohan Collector's Edition from way back whenever it whenever it was released. And so I've been using this one, or there's a green one, a red one, and a white one. And the different Rohan tribes is the wrong word, but I don't know what they're referred to as. And so I've just used it so much that I'm kind of over it. Rinthalos, are you okay with riding there? That looks a bit uncomfortable. I guess he is a night elf. A night elf. No, he is a high elf. So I think he knows what to do. Okay, I do actually want to... I know that there are some quests here. That's something that Lord of the Rings Online never does well. Well, no, I don't want to say that. It definitely gets better. But one of the things that Lord of the Rings Online does not do too well is that it'll be like, oh, do all these quests here. You go back and it's like, okay, you're all done. You go to the next one and you'll get like 1 or 2 quests where it's like, oh, we need you to go there as well. It's like, why didn't you just group those together? And so I know that there's one from here where you have to go collect supplies. Again, I only know that because I just deeded out this area on my warden. Otherwise, we would have had to figure that out together, which is not bad. I mean, you end up getting more XP because you have to kill more mobs. But in terms of efficiency, though, I don't really care about being super efficient. It's just annoying though if you go and do everything in one area and then it randomly says, okay, now go all back again. But that's also kind of characteristic of these older MMOs as well. So, not a surprise. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. So we're gonna go and get, what do we need? Flawless boar hides and the trinkets. All right, so we'll get these dudes. Goodbye. Zap you. Zap. Man, that almost one-shots them. Not bad. We'll do the AoE here. Almost one-shots all of them, too. Okay, that was easy. Oh, hey. That must have missed. Need to get his finesse up more so that the mobs can't dodge it. Though at this point, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's one over there. I believe there's also a rare... Oh, okay, that actually one-shot him. I believe there's a rare boar that spawns around here. Not that that really... It gives you a little bit more XP. It can drop something useful for your class, but... It's nothing actually really special that, you know, like if you miss it, you're gonna somehow be really behind or anything. Hey. Right at that's the second time now, actually, that a scarred splinter tusk came out of nowhere. Which I guess is exactly what they're trying to do. But that's alright. Alright, debris. Get a backpack for some crafting mats or something. Yeah. Oh, you know, actually, I've had this the whole time. I forgot to equip that. Ooh. Oh, that's a javelin. No, that's for, yeah, or a spear. That's for the warden, a club, and heavy armor. Obviously, I can't use that. Oh, but this is also better. Nice. Yeah, so that dropped. And that's what I was wearing earlier. Cool. So, yeah, these beginner areas, as in every MMO, right? Very calm, very welcoming. I do really like the music here, the landscape. Right, obviously we're very far. Right, here's Bree-Land and such. We're very far from Mordor, right? We're over here. And so not much of anything has made its way over this way yet. And so it's a nice, welcoming start to the game. And particularly nowadays with how quickly you can level. I mean, it will still take forever to get to level cap. I'm still not at level cap on my warden, and I've been playing quite aggressively the past couple of weeks. it won't take much longer for me to get to level cap, though I still actually have to get the 2 latest expansions. I don't own them. I've almost got enough points to get the first one for free, essentially, which I'll be doing that. Should be able to get it by, aha, exactly. So there's one. I should be able to get it by, I don't know, next Saturday, I would say. Yeah, here's one find marble. You'll see she's actually been taken prisoner, so we have to free her. And then we'll go over to this area. Oh, helpful tip in case people did not know about this. So I had the problem for quite a while that you can see all of, right, you can see all these flowers and such. Gosh darn it, another splinter tusk. Get out of my way. You can see all these flowers, right? It's referred to as frill here. So the bushes and such makes it look a lot nicer. If you had 0, this is what it looks like, right? I don't necessarily know if this is what it looked like when the game first came out. I wouldn't be surprised though, because it was like 2008, I think, or 2007. But anyway, so it's nice to have some frill density just for more multi-dimensionality. I had this checked, frill terrain color. I had that checked for the longest time, and what would happen is the frill would reload regularly, right? So like we'd be walking along here, all the frill would disappear for a second and reload. And I thought for the longest time, I was like, what is my graphics card doing? I don't have the best graphics card, I will say, but I don't have a super cheapo one either. And so I was just thinking, man, what is that? So if you have this selected, not frill. If you have this selected, this frill terrain color, I definitely recommend unselecting it. You can still keep the frill distance. This obviously, the higher it is, right, that shows the long distance ones. The higher it is, the more your CPU essentially has to work. And it is mainly CPU because it's a MMO and it's a old MMO. But then also partially your GPU. But that will hopefully fix any issues you might have. It fixed mine entirely, where I don't have that issue anymore. I mean, I just learned about that last night, and so I only have a couple of hours of experience essentially showing that it did work. All right, talk to him, and now we go back and talk to that dude. Oh, by the way, I'll have to show everyone later, I bought a new house because on my warden, I had bought the house and I thought it was a big one, but it ended up just being a standard house where I wanted then the deluxe. Nice level. This one was the flank. We wanted this because it's all, yeah, we want tactile damage. Okay, good. We got a new one. Master of Elements. You are a master of using multiple elements to your advantage. Yes, I am. Though mainly just fire and electricity or lightning. When you use a frost skill directly after a lightning, it will deal an additional effect. After using a lightning skill, your frost skills will slow. Okay. I mean, that's good if I have to kite. After using a fire skill, your frost skills will make enemies brittle, increasing their incoming critical chance. Okay, nice. Cool, and just overall, I get plus 10% flat damage increase across everything. And staff sweep. Okay. Does this interrupt? No. But tactical skill, radius 5 meters. Okay. I thought it was going to be an interrupt. Well, so essentially this tells us we want to use fire and then frost. So essentially this thing. But I've also got that. Does that have an induction? No. No, it's fast. So inductions just means, is there a cast bar cast with it? Or is it instant? And it seems to be instant. So that's good. All right, yeah, so for this, we first have to kill just a couple of these brigands in this area, And then otherwise, yeah, now we get to take vengeance or take revenge on all these boar. As he then plows me. Well done, boar. I guess I was trying to kill you, so it's understandable if you wanted to then kill me. But these should all be here. We'll essentially make our way, meander this way, kill all the boars, go up and kill the brigands there. It didn't seem like that was much of a big difference. Here's fire. Fire increases my crit chance. Okay, I guess I killed it. I like the you shall not pass type of effect when I do. So I'll use then this one here. Thou shall not pass. Blah. And I guess it's true because it essentially the enemy dies before it comes to get me. So that time I just killed him too fast. So if I just do fire and then this, what does this? Slow burn. Yeah, brittle frost. Okay, again, he died too quickly. Let's see what that says. That, brittle frost, right there. Yeah, so it just, okay, it's just a increased chance. I mean, that's essentially what the tooltip said anyway, but increased chance of crit damage. I kill these guys so quickly though that it doesn't really matter. That would be helpful for actual bosses, or probably for some of the more elite. Also, once I actually get my crit rating up, because it's only at 9.4%, that's pretty... I mean, for this level, that's fine. That's normal. But I want to get that up to about 30, I would think. Though even though I want to get it up to about 30, that's not going to be for a long time. Again, I feel like I need to have a I was gonna say I feel like I need to have a stream with my main, because I keep mentioning the main, and just so everyone actually sees what it looks like. I think I am gonna do a stream with my main, though, to go through I'm currently in King's Gondor. Right, so we're in Gondor. So there's the Western, Central, Eastern Gondor. When you first enter this is then during the war. You essentially come this way. No, you don't. You come this way. Burp, burp, burp. And there's Minas Tirith. There's also, though, King's Gondor, which you can't see here. But that's then all of these regions again, but after the war, so after the ring has been destroyed. And I've actually never played through that content. That's entirely new to me. And so I've been playing it. I got there yesterday, I want to say. And I've been playing through all of it, and it's really good. And so I think I actually want to essentially, like I was saying with this character here, where we could go through the quests, I read the things out loud, we take our time. I think I'm going to do that with my warden, just because there aren't too many quests, and then we'll make our way through Umbar, essentially. But one thing at a time, I would say. Otherwise, we're going to continue to essentially cycle through playing this, essentially playing Rinthelos, and leveling the Loremaster finally, and going over to Elder Scrolls Online, of course, which I'm probably going to play Elder Scrolls Online tonight, by the way. So we're just going to do a kind of a longer afternoon stream, and then probably tonight I would like to play Elder Scrolls Online. And, I mean, we'll see how things go. That's the plan, at least. And then otherwise, we'll play my Warden, too. Just to get... The nice thing as well is to see... You'll be able to then see the contrast between... This is then early level gameplay. And then we can contrast with the more end game. It's not entirely end game, but it's closer to end game gameplay on my Warden. Okay, there's one. Once we finish this, the next one is we have to kill wolves, I believe, and then later we have to kill bears. We unfortunately have to kill the bears, although they are cute, curious bears. I know, I'm sorry. But they're cute, curious bears, and we have to kill them for their curiosity, sadly. And also for their pelts. Okay, 2 more of those. We unfortunately have to go into the Old Forest, not for very long. Thematically, the Old Forest is really cool. But in terms of navigating, it's not that easy. It's not that bad. But essentially a lot of these parts here where it looks like you can't get somewhere, you actually can get through, and other areas that do look like you can get through, you can't, and so it's just a bit annoying at times. But it's not very long. And we'll be able to at least find Tom Bombadil's house, which is right there, and that's then essentially where we can enter the Barrow Downs. Okay, was that 10? Yes. Like I said, I'm still waiting to actually get... Oh, I think I know what it is. We're going to turn these in, and then we're going to get a quest to go over here to kill brigands. I think after that, we go up north. Unless I'm confusing this A Blade for Life for the one, but we'll see. I thought that was another player, but that's just an NPC. Right, paying bills. Right, this is then the brigands. Yeah, brigand. Here is then, sure, tailoring. Right, now we want to kill wolf pets and then get the spring of water. That requires us to then go into the forest. Shadow Giants, Old Forest. Yeah. Okay, so this will take us all into the forest now. I'm just going to do this to get it done because I don't really like this part. But if you've never seen this, it is really cool. Hello, Nuahuli. So you can immediately tell the ambiance changes. Right, we can maybe... Ooh, spooky. It's green and Halloweeny, so that means it has to be bad, essentially. I'm surprised. Where are actually all the mobs? Oh, I bet that dude who just ran through killed everything. So we have to go here. The trick here is we actually want to do all of these quests except for this one. We want to do this one last. You will see why in a second. Not to spoil it, not that it's that exciting, why we have to do that last. All right, that's a bat. I believe if I kill him... Oh, I thought that was a deed. Okay, we'll go over this way. Yeah, actually I need to go down this way here. See, so this is essentially what I meant with, it's not that difficult. Hey. Hello. Wave. Goodbye. Be careful. They're gonna get ya. All right, there's a wolf. Like I said, it's not that hard to navigate through here, but it's just a little bit annoying. Oh. I am on an RP server, so I just waved. Oh, and he just bowed. And so you do have to be a little bit careful with waving and bowing and such, because that could, here on an RP server, that could be essentially an invitation to either let's play together or let's RP together. Which, I don't know, maybe we'll do once. I am no experienced RPer, and so, but it would be interesting to do. Okay, so we just have to kill these dudes. And only 20 of them. Yay. That's another thing that's been really nice about King's Gondor, so essentially after the war, is so it's just a quest pack, it's not part of a whole expansion. But the Slayer deeds, where you have to, it's like kill X number of whatever, it's not the case anymore where it's like you don't have to kill 200 of whatever. So that's quite nice. Instead, it's a much more tolerable, like kill 30 for the first one, and then kill 60 for the advanced. Yeah, there's the spider slayer. That's the other thing about Bree. No, I didn't want that. Oh well. Oh, I can do I got this skill where the raven comes. Okay, yay. That's the other thing. Bree has so many. I think it has like easily 20 deeds that you can do. I don't think that the raven stays with me. I'm pretty sure it said, yeah, it's gone. That was one of the changes with the revamp of this class, is that, I mean, so the Loremaster is or was historically a pet class, and now it doesn't have to be. You can essentially play it just as a, I mean, as you can see, it's effectively a mage. I think I will, though, maybe we'll try that out. Again, just because I don't really have any experience with the Loremaster. I can have a second class or subclass or skill line or whatever. And so maybe I will also just level, because you get it for free anyway, blue line, just to see what the difference is and what I like more. If I want more of the, essentially more of the pet type class, which I do generally like, but we'll see. We'll test that out later. I mean, ultimately, you don't really get a good idea of a class, at least in this game, until like, I don't know, I want to say level 40 or 50. That's, by that point, you'll have earned a lot of your, I would say by the time you get to Moria, which is level 45, though it doesn't really officially start until level 50. I need a couple more wolves. Yeah, they're back here. Yeah, like I said, Moria doesn't officially start until level 50, though you can at least get your legendary item at level 45, which you definitely should, just because it makes gameplay that much easier. It's a huge power spike. And yeah, so maybe once I'm around level 40 or something, when we're in Evendom, I'll try some things out. Man, where are all the wolves? There, I think there were 2 or 3 up there. There's an oak, break my legs. Spider. Those must then share the same spawn. Oh yeah, so there's another deed. You can collect all of these flowers. There are 5 or 6. There's like one here, something. Yes, hello. But I don't feel like doing that. Particularly because I think, there's one, nice. For deeding, aside from doing quests and maybe some, and there's our second one, quests and exploration deeds, and even then, it depends. It's just so much easier to do to do the deeds once you've actually out-leveled the area. Which I realize is a bit counterintuitive, right? You're supposed to then do all of the deed log for that area to really level up and such, but I mean, I'll definitely be doing that. I was gonna say I'll definitely be doing that with once I'm at level cap, but even then I might not, just because it's not the most. I've very much. I really have to love a game. And I do really love this game, but I really have to love a game to grind for a long time. I I feel like my grinding days in MMOs are not entirely gone, but largely. My threshold for how much I'm willing to grind has definitely gone down significantly. As opposed to, you know, like leveling a new character or, you know, leveling a crafting skill or something like that. I would rather do that than just like, oh, kill 3,000 of these and you'll get a stat point. It's like, as long as I'm able to do the overland content here in the landscape, then I'm fine. Again, there's certainly exceptions to that. Most recently, oh no, I actually don't want to be attacked, because if I'm attacked while I'm carrying something, you will lose. I need to go up this way. You'll lose some of this progress bar, and if it goes down to 0, then you'll obviously drop the bucket. Though you're not doing a good job, Rithlus, of carrying the water, because he was carrying it like the bucket like that. So essentially, you just dropped all of the water, Rithlus. Well done. If we're on an RP server, then we need to at least RP a little bit, and you just got rid of all of the water that they need. Yes, I know. Another curious bear. I think I'm too far. No, that's right. But what I was saying was there was a... If I'm not playing MMOs, which I'm mainly playing, then the single player games I do play, sometimes do on PC, but mainly on my PlayStation. And the last one I did was, ooh, nice, a new staff, was Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I love. I know it's kind of contentious because a lot of people really dislike Valhalla, and I completely understand why. It is very, very bloated. It's way too long. I nearly 100%ed. Well, I 100%ed all of the quests and all of the side quests and everything. I found all of the areas of interest and did all of that of every single map, and I think I completed that in like 200 hours. And so it's definitely way too bloated. But I also really like the game, and so it was enjoyable, at least while I did that. Okay, I want to equip my... Man, they're all just these sticks, but I guess I'm only level 16, so what do I expect? I guess I do expect a little bit different, or something different, because if you look at this icon, it does not look like it's just going to be a stick. But I'm sure we'll get something better soon enough. But so for next level, for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, there I did grind quite a bit, but it was just because I enjoyed being in the world. All right, so what do we have here? Lightning Storm. The air might taste of metal, but you learn to draw a furious storm from a clear day. Okay, so this is also AoE, 1.3 second induction, so there's a little. With improved ignition, this skill can cash out burning embers for bonus damage. I think I've got improved ignition, don't I? Yeah. But again, I think it's just... okay. It also applies a frost vulnerability. So I could do, yeah, the lightning, then frost, and that makes them slow down. And it does 3 attacks. So that's clearly good. What's this? Unyielding sweep. Uh-oh. Quiff butt duration. I think this is then something that you want as a debuff later, but I don't need it now. All right, so this was then the sweeps. Yeah, I'm gonna put that there, put that there. Okay, I'm excited to test this out. How much? Ah, okay, this is actually a cooldown. What was this? That's a heal, which I can't heal anyone, so that's fine. All right, that'll stay there. So I put all of my long cooldowns here. I should actually put that. What was this one again? Oh, yeah. I can also... I don't think I can do this while I'm playing alone. Okay. Let's actually check. In case people don't know, if you open your wallet, here you can see all your currency and such. Oh, I actually need to spend some figments of splendor. You use these figments for cosmetics. Click on this perks thing, and it brings up all of these different perks, like you can run faster, or you've got in combat recovery, hope. Hope is a mechanic. It's quite a cool mechanic where you will experience fear from, like, you know, really high level mobs or the what are they called? Essentially, like the dead kings and such, and the fear will reduce your maximum vitality. You'll see it like in an orange bar. But if you have hope, then that will counteract the effect that fear has. So instead of having a fear -10, you would only have a fear -7 or something like that. Anyway, you can essentially, you definitely should not do armor or determination. If you plan on doing just a lot of mob grinding, then you can do this 10 XP from monster kills, but it's not really worth it. The only thing that's really worth it in my experience is this. Right, because it only costs 250 of these perk points. And you'll see down here, a blue bar will be added. So you get then 1 point or one of these every 24 hours. And then every level you get these perk points, these destiny points. And so it's just a nice way to quickly build up rested XP. You also get rested XP, but just like you'll see also, this XP gets used super quick. But that's also just because, I mean, that is part of the point, is for you to then be able to just level quickly. All right, I want to, he's not here. So for these dudes, I'm gonna test cracked earth again, because they're nice and close to each other. Yeah, he's running. She's gone. He's gone. Yeah, I can see what people say, because a lot of people have said, okay, the Loremaster red line, so this line here is really OP. I can see why they say that, because I'm just 1 level ahead, and I'm butchering a lot. So I'm gonna do that. That. This is the guy I need to kill, and for that I want to do lightning storm. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. I can see why people like that. Yeah, he's dead. If I can get to him. But that's the nice thing here. Like I said, if we get these deeds completed just as we go, right? So we had to kill 30 of them. Now I have to kill 60. But if we get them done as we go on, then great. But I'm not going to go out of my way to try to complete them. Okay. Yeah, that lightning storm is awesome, and it only has a minute-long cooldown. That's not bad at all. And of course, the effect is really cool. Okay, I think now, right? Because I'm gonna give him this, and I think now he says, "Oh, please go give us supplies." Okay, nice. So we got the first adventurer done. We got 2,000. Oh, how are we doing on our virtues? Oh, we got another virtue slot. So we've got wisdom first. Let's earn that again. Confidence. No, honesty, confidence. And then fidelity. Cool. So do note that if you don't slot one of the virtues up here, right, you can actively slot 5, But if you've got levels in other ones, you will get passive, right? You can see here, passive. Okay, I only get 4 morale, so that's 4 hit points, but I guess it's better than nothing. But that also means, like, you could then max. So I think the max level is 96 for the virtue. So you max all 5, which takes forever. And you can max all of these, right? And then you'll get all of the passive. And that would certainly make you even more OP. But yeah, you don't need to. Okay, this takes us then. Okay, I take it back. We're gonna go up there then. But no, I really could have sworn, because there's. Oh, here it is. Yeah, the flow of goods. Collect stolen goods. And there's the captain's tent. Yeah, okay, I guess we do have the 3. Yeah, it's these 3 that we need to do. Which we're now beyond it. That's level 15. That's fine. We might... Oh, okay, we get the race. Yeah, those racial benefits. Ooh, damn. Take that. Oh, but see, you can see, particularly at these lower levels, right? I said, okay, use the bonus XP. It's pretty much all used up already. But that's because you don't need a lot of XP to level. But so you then wait a couple of days. I don't necessarily wait 5 days every time until I use all of the destiny points. But it usually just ends up working out that way because I won't have played for a while, and I'll have then the five days racked up, and then boom, 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 boom. And so it's just a nice addition to the rested XP that you get every day, like for the daily restart. Which, depending on where you are, is going to be at a different time. Like, depending on where you are in the world, in the real world. Because it's then the server reset. So this is definitely really annoying, this Ember, because I keep pressing it. I guess I just have to really make sure to stop moving. Because what happens is I'll run somewhere similar to this interrupted. I'll run somewhere, try to use then this, and it thinks I'm still moving, which is a server thing, but it's still a bit frustrating. So like in that, so like right there, I actually pressed it after I had collected then the stolen goods, and it thought I was still moving. Alas. That's what happens when you have an old game. I guess I was reading, so one of, after what is the game called? Not Ultimatum. Ultima Online, right? You know, one of the first MMOs, certainly one of the biggest ones. And then we had EverQuest, and then Asheron's Call came out also around that time, like late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was early 2000s. But Asheron's Call is an MMO that Turbine developed. Turbine is the developer of the original developer of this game, and then they were bought out. I'm pretty sure they were bought out by SSG, by Standing Stone Games. I don't think it was the case that Turbine went bankrupt, but I could be wrong. But SSG, yeah, SSG, what was I saying? No, Turbine developed Asheron's Call, and the engine that they used to develop Asheron's Call is this engine as well. So I guess I should say it the other way around. The engine they used to develop Lord of the Rings Online was Asheron's Call. And so if Asheron's Call came out, when did that come out? I want to see, actually. Asheron's Call release. Okay, it was 1999, 31st of October. So you have to imagine, what happened to there? You have to imagine this engine was well, Eschon's Call came out in 1999. So, you know, they were developing this game for, I don't know, 3 years or something. And so this engine is easily over 25 years. 25 years old, that is. And so also in terms of like the server architecture and everything, that's obviously gotten better, but it's still not great. And so that explains why the game is so janky a lot. Yes, with Blake dead, we can make our escape. Good. We'll kill some more of these bandits so I can get even more of my Slayer deed finished. And you. I like this one. I think I can make it back from here, and down there are 2 bandits. Are you sure? You're not gonna die? Okay. Oh. I need one more thing of stolen goods. I think that, and then this. No. And now this, and that. Good. Okay, now we'll go kill that brigand, and on the way, yeah, we unfortunately have to kill a lot of bears. So for all those bear lovers out in the audience, I'm sorry, but we've got to kill some of them. But again, these are the bad curious bears. They were explicitly told to stay at home, but then they smelled honey and thought, why don't I go outside? And then they got zapped by electricity like that. And so I'm gonna pull out my Raven just because. Oh wow, already leveled. Oh, I actually might turn on. I turned off the 3D models here, just because you can then more quickly see them. Yeah, they're definitely bad bears. Don't worry about that. As a Loremaster, that's part of the job. Before you don't actually see this happening while we're playing, but whenever a Loremaster accepts a quest here, he's able to freeze time, essentially look at all of the background information, like, what's actually going on? So I have to go kill bears, but I love bears. I also love reindeer. And so don't want to have to kill them. Always make sure that the only bears that are actually killed are the bad ones. So all good. So these ones were particularly bad, so they get to be lightning stormed. Zap. Yeah, that skill's pretty OP. On the other hand, at least those 2, that was a more painful death because it took a couple of hits to kill. These at least died immediately, so they probably didn't feel anything. All right, yeah, here is then the den. Kill the baby bears. Sorry, Mama Bear. I know this isn't. Yeah, there we go. 7, 7, 8. Kill some more of these. Good. All right, one more. Though it's juvenile. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say the juvenile bears don't necessarily drop 1 because they're just because they're juvenile, they're baby bears. Their pelts may not be appropriate. So what is this that you gave me? Probably. Maybe I should have checked that. That's okay. All right, next group of brigands. Goodbye, cracked earth. I just cannot get over. I mean, I guess that reminds me a lot of some of my warden skills. Although no, I take that back because warden is really good. It is essentially a dot class. You apply just tons of dots, and then it's kind of like this. Here, I'll play a warden, but on my Loremaster. This will give you an idea, right? Because this is a dot. So this is a warden. You set up all of your dots, at least for the one you want to do. Okay, you apply your dots, and now you can then just keep running. And then it'll eventually die. Like that. Goodbye. So, I mean, you can speed it up by then... Oh! Something just fell from my desk. I think I know what that was, though. But yeah, that's essentially Warden gameplay. Apply all the dots. Oh, wow, that missed. Touché. He's actually getting some hits off of me. Well done, Brunmore. You are so far the first mob, I think, to have actually hit me more than once. Yeah, that... I don't know if the mic picked that up, but something fell from my desk. I've got a standing desk here, and sometimes the mechanism that rotates in order to essentially lift everything up, it becomes detached. I don't know why. It thankfully doesn't happen frequently. But they very stupidly put it behind like this piece of metal that you can take off, but the screws are so small, you have to have an L. What are they called? A something key. An Allen key? No, that's an Allen wrench. But you essentially have to have some sort of, it has to be so small that I have a number of these Allen wrenches, and none of them worked because they were all like a millimeter too big. And so I just said, okay, screw it, and I just pulled the metal back a little bit to make adjustments. And I think it just fell off, but that's okay, it's not actually protecting anything. Okay, that's all done. I'm just gonna go here to get this, because we actually want to go back there. But I'm just gonna go here, although do I? No, I don't need that. I'm fine. Because I don't think I'm going to do the quests down here. I don't need to. I look here to see Adventure Advanced. Yeah, we need to then do 13 more of those. We will get some quests here. We'll get some quests in the Barrow Downs. I do want to check as well. Now I wonder, actually, I'm gonna click out of the game, and I wonder if that messes up the FPS, because I think in Lord of the Rings Online, when you select a different window while the game is open, it reduces then the FPS in the background, which isn't bad, but... New mail. Ceridon, my Lord Strider. Okay. I guess. I actually don't know this one. Deliver the note you received to Ceridon. I believe he's right up here, isn't he? Yep. Okay, well, we can at least go turn that in. Okay, I think we've just about finished. I can't use that. Finished all of these. Yeah, we have to go do that. We'll turn that in. Yeah, then we go down to the the Vale of Andrith, where there are even more bandits down here. Surprise, surprise. But we'll finish these things here. We're just about done, and then this whole area is done. Old Forest is effectively done. Like I said, if I had actually gone down here to Buckland, then it sends you into the Old Forest. But yeah, it sends you into the Old Forest, and it also sends you into a solo instance, but the instance is really bad, and so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to use... Fate is not a useless stat. You can see here, Fate. It increases your max power and out of comp. So as you can see, it's not useless, but it's not... Of the other, so these offense stats, these ones are much more important than Fate. So I actually switched it for Vitality, so I can have a little bit more health. Okay, so we'll go here next, because I don't quite recall what this... Oh, although, now that I think about it, Bree-Land. North along the Greenway to replace Greenway Fort. Oh, duh. I know where Greenway Fort is. It's right there, exactly. And then the farm. Oh, the farm's right across the street here. The way, I guess. I think, as far as I remember, exactly, this is now going to send us into orc territory. So essentially there's some orc camps up here. No, so that's good that we're going up this way, because this is then more in line with our level. In fact, it's exactly our level. We could do those. I might turn them in just because I'll get them the quest. The quest completion here to add it to our list. An adult bear. I mean, I guess that's not wrong to say adult bear, but it just sounds a little bit strange. I want to move this a little bit. Yeah. All right. And Dreg, what would you like us to do? Yeah, see, so that's what I thought. So he's going to then send us into this orc territory, which they should be... Okay, yeah, they're up there, but essentially these are the key areas to go because there's so many orcs there. It even said on... So like I said earlier, it makes... I definitely recommend using the wiki, the Lotro wiki, and seeing what zones you should go to depending on your level. Because there's so many zones available. Because like if you look, this is one zone you could go to. You could go to the Yondershire. You could go to, yeah. Let's see, Selendum. No, here, you could go to Cardalin. You could go all over, and it is hard. Like the game doesn't tell you always. Sometimes it will tell you where you should go. You'll get like these so-called introduction quests, but usually it doesn't tell you where to go. And so that's where the Lotro wiki is definitely a major help. Okay, I need to go and what's the screen one? Yeah, I need this actually to be. Okay, so he needs to go. I need to go up a little bit more. I have to admit, I'm not familiar with these quests as much. Because usually what I'll do is I'll complete these and then go down south. Which maybe I should have done. Just because if I get level... Yeah, if I turn level 19... What level is this? I'd still be able to do this. This will then be... This will gray out, I think. Yeah, he should be here. Exactly. This is where he is. But still, even if we've graded out, we can complete them. We won't get any XP, but they'll count towards the quest completion. The quest deed, I should say. Zap. I wonder actually, I mean, I'm sure if I had read that quest text, I wonder why there are actually orcs here. Does it say here? Just watching movements of enemies from the north. Yeah. Concerned over the appearance of a foe they have long fought in the north. I mean, I would assume that they come... Ah, that's right. Here in North Downs, this Nan Wathran, there's a huge orc. That's a huge orc outpost, and an even bigger one is here, Doldinan. That used to be, although even nowadays, depending if you're doing it below level or on level, this is definitely more of a group area. we're gonna do then the North Downs. This is a really good place to level, and they really streamlined it where you go from here to here, 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 here. And you actually don't have to complete anything here. But, oh, and you do go down here. That's a cool place to show essentially what the fear mechanic does. Just because there are so many elite mobs. So these are just the normal ones. But there's so many elite mobs that, and also just like presence of evil, I think it's called, or places of evil. And that will then affect, that'll essentially negatively impact you. You'll be afraid a lot of the time. And so just to show what that looks like. But originally that Doldinan was a group only place as far as I know. You had to ascend, again, unless you had out leveled the area, and even then, you had to go in there as a group. Otherwise you would just be killed way too quickly. All right, I think he's, no, I can't. Is he still not safe? There we go. I was gonna say, he's running quite far. Okay, get you, and then we need to get a prowler, which prowlers are usually hidden. That bear's cute, that bear cub. Yeah, prowlers usually indicate that they are hidden, which is always wonderful, because you essentially just have to hope that you walk by them. But in this case, the prowler is not hidden, so we are in luck. Okay, that's everything here. If you don't, that's definitely one thing I would recommend anyone who's just starting to play this game. In the Lotro store, yes, you have to buy something, or I guess you don't have to, but it's a major convenience. If you don't buy this, and it's not very expensive, it's a journeyman riding skill essentially, but it unlocks account wide, so you don't have to otherwise wait until level 20. So I essentially can have my mount at level 1 because I bought that skill. And again, it's account wide, so any new character that you buy, they get it immediately as well. And if you don't, you otherwise have to wait till level 20 and then go to Hengstacer's farm. And then you can get a mount. And even then, it's a slow one. You can see that this is I think, 68% speed. And the original one you get, I think, is a 30-something. So even with the mount, it's not too fast. All right, now we have to go back and kill some more. Yeah, we were just like, I knew that this wasn't gonna take too long. Again, just playing, essentially what I mean by this, questing through all of Bree-Land. Just again, because I know it's been so streamlined and the characters are overpowered and such. But I'm also just really amazed at how quickly it goes. But that's good. My first milestone, as I would imagine most people's is, my first major milestone is getting to Moria. Moria is by far one of my favorite expansions. It was also then the absolute first expansion in this game. And that was also under the tutelage, so to say, or under the development of Turbine. And you can tell it was developed by a different game than SSG. Again, not that SSG is bad, it's just, it's different. And you can really see how much love was put into the game then. And, you know, Turbine continued to develop games, expansions afterwards. I personally really like the Riders of Rohan, though I don't like the mounted combat system. That was and still is a horrific mess. They were way too ambitious, and the server technology just cannot account for what they had planned. So that sucks, but other than that, really very Ooh, I think I'm gonna try actually this. No, he's running away. Quick. Oh, okay. Well, at least I got this dude. So, Mines of Moria, that's definitely the first major milestone. Once you get there, then you're kind of out of the whole tutorial area. I'd say everything up to level 50 is still very much tutorial. I mean, that's a little bit exaggerated, but just by a bit, because then at level 45 to 50, you get your... That's when you get your legendary item. And you really get into, like, the meat of the game, I would say. All right, that was fast. Speaking of fast, this happens to me. 3 XP. All right, well, it makes sense to just kill one thing really quick. This happens to me so much where, like, the entire bar is filled up, and it's like, how am I... No, I won't kill the bear. I'll kill the wolf. Or the wolf leader. Yeah, but 3 XP. But I'll get him with... I'll get it from this then. So this is what I mean. So there are certain times, certain essentially level thresholds where new areas will be introduced with this destination or introduction auto bestowal quest. And so here it's saying you should go to the Lowlands. I don't want to go to the Lowlands, but I also don't want to keep getting that pop-up, so I'm just going to accept it. Again, that's one thing, in case people don't know, that's one thing that you can do. Let's say, right, so I just accepted here this destination. But let's say you've done it on all your characters, or you just really don't want to go. You can essentially click this, and it will filter the quest, so it won't keep showing up. So you can filter account-wise, though that doesn't always work. But certainly on your character, so it doesn't keep... Because if I hadn't accepted it there, then every time I level up, it would say, oh, don't you want to go to the Lowlands? It's like, no. So just put it in that filter, and then it wouldn't show up anymore. I think there's 1 or 2 more quests up there. So there's a cave that we're going to go up there that you can't enter without the quest. And these are essentially the precursors. Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure it's... See? Locate the cave. Aha. Oh, and I don't think we've got a necklace. Good. So we'll do that. And I'll give you 2 guesses as to what we have to do there. Remember what I said earlier about MMOs being a murder hobo simulator. Yes, we have to go in and kill tons of orcs. But I guess it is the orcs at least. So why is it that we're killing them though? The meeting cave is in the orc encampment of Kirith Nur, northwest of Old Granite Fort. As you find the cave, where the brigands and orcs plan to meet and defeat their leaders. Rangers watching movements of enemies from the north and south are concerned of the appearance of a foe they long fought in the north, right? Yeah, we know that. Exactly, and there's the cave entrance. That's another thing, you can actually click this show completed, and it will show you essentially not only the original quest text, but also all of the objectives, and if there's a lot of dialogue, right? This is particularly helpful here for the prologue and such. You can read through all of the dialogue. So that's nice. If you're, let's say, you're just kind of plowing through everything, but then later on you think, oh, I'd like to see what was going on in all of those quests, then you can read through them afterwards, even if you skipped them originally. All right, so I need to defeat the chieftain. All right, I will do that. I need to find out where it is. Is this a big one? No, you can generally tell how big the cave is based on how big the map is. So this is medium-sized, I would say. So it won't be too far. But I don't remember where it is. This looks like it's just round. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if, let's go down that way. You probably have to go down or up. Surprised at how well lit it is in here. Usually you have to turn on. What was it? Changed it. I think it used to be Alt F12, which is like the most random key combination, but Alt F12 will turn on your lantern. I changed F12, yeah, to show my reputation, so maybe that's why it's not. Yeah, here we go. Up. Usually that's a good sign that we're going in the right direction. It'll burn. Oh, no, this is also just another circular path. All right. Then, third time's a charm. Since obviously no, yes. Oh, that's right, we got these. Call upon beasts into the wild to flank and harry your foe, applying the flanked effect and reducing your own threat. Okay, so again, that's nice for when you're playing in groups, but I can't flank otherwise. Ah, Wrath of the Firstborn. Yeah, I can't. I have to select that here. Ah, there we go. So here are your racial traits. You unlock these by completing deeds. I'll have to see which ones, or essentially how I can unlock it. So this is then just, I don't know, it has a 10-minute cooldown and it only lasts for 10 seconds, so. It's not bad, but it's not something I'm going to be using frequently by any means. Oh, I think I figured out what to do for burning embers. I think I just need to essentially press it twice constantly. As it, like, assuming that it's not gonna work when I stop moving like this. Wow, this is quite cool. These ruins just randomly hidden here. Oh, remember you've been cut off. Angmar doesn't care what happens to you, but Snarky's men can help you. Sharkies. Right, let's try this again. You orcs will get half-half. We'll give you half of all the loot we take. Bill Fernie and Tarkib Chieftain. You will be given white hand gear and all the food you want. The farmers here are feeding us if they don't want their farms burned. Exploitation at its finest. Ah yes, Sharky will protect you from the Iron Crown. Have no fear of that. Oh, speaking of Sharky, I have an idea of what we'll do once we turn level 20. Okay, and then it just repeats. Yeah, Angmar is. Oh, I can't show it here, but when we get out, we will. All right, let's use. Speaking of bears, let's call our bear. Haha. Oh, it fears them too. Nice. Go bear. Thank you, Don. Well done. Oh, I think. Can I rename it? Pet menu. Yes. What should I rename? What should I rename the bear as? Let me know in the chat what you think I should rename the bear as, and we will do that. Could do Barrington. Barrington. But then it would have to be Barrington. We could do Bearific. That's kind of boring. Bearific. We could do Battle Bear Bjorn. We could do my ideas are, I think that's all I've got. All right, let's do Barrington. Sir Barrington the Fourth. Oh, you can't name it that. Why not? Okay, I have to wait. I have to wait to recall it. I wonder why I couldn't. That's kind of strange. Maybe because it's not. So I do quite like that actually about Lord of the Rings Online, is you have to actually choose somewhat lore appropriate names. Ooh, I'm gliding. So really an emphasis on somewhat appropriate. You can get away with quite a lot of things. But that might be the reason why I can't name it Barrington. But I'll try again once it's... Okay, it's on cooldown. I'll call. All right, call him. Yes, Mr. Bear. Pet menu. Rename Bear. Yeah, that's why. I thought. Because he actually despawned. Nice. Hello, Sir Barrington. I might even add a Sir in front of it. Yeah, no, thankfully, yeah. Thankfully it did work out. It was just... They need to be more precise with their error management, where it's like, no, you can rename it that. It just actually has to be called there. So there we go. We've got Sir Barrington. I think that was the last one here, because they'll probably send me back to Breetown once I turn... Oh, or this dude. Though I haven't been doing that. For breaking the alliances, we'll get that done. That's the very, again, old game, but the jumping animation, it's very floaty, unfortunately. Berserker. Yeah, Bearmageddon and Vader. I really like Bearmageddon. I think I'm gonna do that. Bearmageddon. Bearmageddon it is. Okay, I don't need agility. So I'll choose this. Oh, was that? Oh, my reputation changed. I thought for a minute that I had completed enough quests, but no. It's just reputation. Yeah, once we hit level 20 or something, then we'll rename it to Bearmageddon. All right, what do we need to do here? Talk to Rose Thurney? I apparently have to rescue someone. Robe? Nope, the one I got is better. Although, so this has less armor, but it's got more will, so actually that is better. The other question, though, is what does it look like? I mean, this technically matches more. All right, I'll just use that. Oh, we did get this, too. And I wanted to see what this looks like. Also not the best. I guess I could have looked here. That's fine. We'll keep it as it is. That's then that staff. I guess we can use some... Yeah, we can eat something. For those of you who hate the sound of people eating, be careful of this whenever you eat food. I won't do it in the microphone because I know it bothers many, many people. But essentially the sound of smacking your lips. Oh, we have to kill more bears. Oh no. Oh yeah, and that exactly. These are the bears that were looking for the honey, and they want boars, bears, boars, and I was gonna say, let me guess, wolves. So it's essentially do the same thing you did here, but now just up here. But again, that's typical. That's typical MMO gameplay. All right, I'm gonna turn this in. There's a wolf scavenger. 12 of them. I want to try this then. Ah, okay. So then it essentially... It is nice to give it then the flanked... Right, so it gives it the flank debuff as if I were attacking from the flank. So that's quite nice. Oh, he actually wants you to talk... go to the Hangster farm. Okay. Hengstish. I wonder how that's actually pronounced. Hengsticher that would be my guess. Hengsticher. Because I doubt it's Hengstacer. That sounds too American. Zap? this isn't too bad. It seems like most of the mobs we gotta kill are around here. I see some bears over there. Because what we're gonna do once we reach level 20, I mean, we're gonna continue to quest and finish all this. So we're almost done with Bree-Land now, I will say. And I did want to check. Lone Lens is 20. Yeah, North Downs is level 20. So we can go there at level 20. But we're going to also do the introduction to skirmishes. And maybe we'll do a skirmish just for old time's sake. Missions nowadays are much, much better. But again, I have to do that anyway to unlock the capability. Honey-based economic collapse, that's right. I mean, particularly if I have to kill 12 of them, yeah, there must be tons of bears out here farming up. See, that's the thing. Just like I'm farming all the mobs and everything, the bears are just farming all of the honey. So we just have to balance things out, make sure that, you know, at some point, I'm sure the mobs will win. They'll kill me. That's one less of me killing bears. It's all in the balance. It's a circle of life. Honey gets eaten by bears. I kill the bears. The bears sometimes kill me. It happens. But yes, otherwise we do. It is, particularly here in Bree-Land, it's important to keep that honey-based economy balanced and maintained. And plus, these are the adult bears. These are the adult bears that go into the office and say, you did everything wrong. Why are you such a nuisance? And they themselves are the ones who create horrible working conditions, so they're just getting their just desserts, I would say. As opposed to then the young bear. He was just being sassy. He had an attitude the whole time. So he's just taking a nap. It looks like he died, but he's just taking a nap. Right, here's a sow. Which is a word that you hardly see sow nowadays. For pig, but I guess it is then the more literary term. And you can see, for those of you who know German, you can see where English got it from. I'm surprised, yeah. Where are actually all the boars here? Morley the Fierce, what is that? Oh, what are you doing there? Never seen one so weak. Oh, he was just talking about himself, I guess. I bet that's actually, I probably shouldn't have killed him, because I bet, like, I'll complete all of these, and then I'll go back to the quest givers, and they'll be like, oh, there's this one bandit, Morley the Fierce, no one can kill him, certainly not in one hit, or one hit with lightning bolt. And then I'll have to come back and wait for the respawn, but that's all right. All right. The bears have been, or have absconded, I would say, with all their honey. So we don't need to do anything more with them. We need to, what was that actually up here? Thornley's Revenge. Wow, you demounted me really quickly. Ah, that's the, yeah, Red Reaver. That's the orc that we killed with the lightning thing way back there. Oh, I bet this is where all the boars are. That's why we haven't found any. Unless, isn't that one? No, bear. Well, I assume so. But we'll go there. Although I think it makes more sense to go there, 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 or there, there, there. to finish that off. Here we go. Yeah, this is then where all the wolves are. All done. Good. Yeah, see, so exactly what I was saying about earlier. Sometimes the NPCs win, and then people can come and loot their corpses and benefit from their deaths. That's what I had earlier. I should actually, these are, I'm just going to use these because I don't really need them. There's a boar. No, so it does say that there are some here, but whatever. That's fine. So, those of you who have actually played a Loremaster, what is your favorite spec? Do you prefer pet spec, nuke spec? Oh, I've got 2 points to spend. Do you prefer nuking things with magic, nuking things with pets, or buffing and debuffing, right? Because the yellow is then pretty much only for group play, where you are the buffer and the debuffer. So I think more of a debuffer than buffer. Captains are more the buffer. Which one do you like to play? Particularly now that things have been revamped. Again, most people, the impression that I get is most people tend towards the red line for reasons such as this, where I can just kill things really quickly. I will say this class reminds me, at least in the red line, it reminds me a lot of the Rune Keeper, which is something I think I mentioned last time I streamed, where it's a little bit, particularly because of all the lightning. Well, I guess the lightning and fire, because with Rune Keeper, you also spec into lightning or fire. It's lightning, fire, or heal. So maybe that's why I feel like it's so similar. And yeah, Rune Keeper is definitely a really cool class, but wasn't really my cup of tea. All right, there he is. So we'll do this. Oh, not in line of sight. Then he'll come back, zap, and now I can do that. Oh wow, that really does slow them down a lot. Okay, cool. Okay, then off to the farm. So yeah, I am very much liking the red line here. I think though, once we turn level 20, I'm going to spec, I'll just create my second one here. I'm gonna spec that into Keeper of Animals because I want to see what the difference is in gameplay. I don't think the DPS is as good. So in terms of progressing through content and such, it might take a little bit longer. We'll see. But I do want it to feel, I would say if it has the effect that it feels more distinct from the Rune Keeper, then I might tend towards that. And then, you know, in areas that are particularly difficult, or, you know, maybe we're under leveled or the mobs are just harder, then we can go into the red line just to, just to make our lives a little bit easier. But we will see. Okay, I need to turn this in somewhere. Talk to Edgar. Oh yeah, here. All right, talk to some other dude. I think it's down there. Yeah. Yeah. See, so this is what I mean. This is what you would have then chosen for your mounts, right? But we thankfully don't have to worry about that. Yeah, advanced. And see, so I was right. There are 3 tiers. So we've got 30 quests done. Well, I was saying I think we're almost done with Bree-Land, but if we've still got 15 quests to go. Oh, you know where these are. These are in the Barrow Downs. That's why. I mean, we got these 2, Horses for Hire. I don't think I've done these here. Talk to that dude. Collect chunks of snapper meat. That's gonna be down. Oh. Okay, I will admit I've never done these. Okay. Horses for hire. I'm gonna set that as the quest. All right. Then I am going to take a quick break just to stand up, get some water. I'm gonna get myself a cup of coffee. So I will be back essentially in, I would say, 5 minutes or so. So if you've been playing along or sitting down, you can get up and stretch as well. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or something to drink if you'd like to. And yeah, we'll be back in just about 5 minutes, I would say. All right? All right. coffee. Yummy, yummy. Although I must say, I actually don't have much coffee in the afternoon. But today I thought, why not? It's the weekend. You only live once, so I'll be dangerous and risk it and have coffee in the afternoon. No, I was just in the mood for some coffee. Though, I kind of wish it were a little bit grayer out. It's actually like gorgeous weather out today. It's almost a sin to stay inside and stream. But on the other hand, this is a lot of fun too. And so I don't mind. All right, so we've got our coffee. I hope you were all able to get coffee yourself, or at least just walk around a little bit, stretch. And we are going to get back. I'm going to close that. We're going to get back into things. I hope, let's see, is that? Yeah, that's working. Good. Though that's got quite the delay.